Hello, listeners. It's me again. And it's us, Four Weebs, that anime podcast. And this is a special episode interrupting the usual flow of things, because fuck it. We're here this evening, today, whatever time it is, to talk about some winter 2017 anime.
New season. Do.
My name's Becca. I'm the queen of the podcast. And I just got a promotion. I have my own box of Q-tips at work. Everyone else, please.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's real special.
My name's Leah, and I'm really confused as to the purpose of the Q-tips, and my imagination is currently running wild.
Let it run.
Ears?
I'll never tell.
You know how your ears just get, like, fucking filthy at work and you just need Q-tips, but, like, the boss won't give you no Q-tips on the company dollar?
Yeah, not Becca. Becca's got her own fucking box now, guys. It's really important.
Starting the Q-tip economy.
It really is. We're gonna make Q-tips great again.
Sorry, in advance, I'm getting over a cold, so I might have a few coughing fits, and if they get bad, I will mute. Okay?
Okay. Does it better. Who else is here with me? I don't know. It's just me and my voices.
My name's Liam Des.
Good job.
Oh, I didn't. And
Nani?
this season is shit because there's no gay figure skating. Am I right?
I'm so right.
But there's some gay brothers.
We already had Super Lovers 1.
That'll be for a different episode, right, Becca?
Maybe there's Super Lovers 2. Don't spoil it for everyone.
Sorry. In other news, that winter's pretty good so far. I also I'm striving to have watched every single Ghost in the Shell thing before the live action movie comes out in a couple months, which I think I should be able to do. I'm halfway through season 2 of Standalone Complex. And then after that I've got a couple movies and then I'm done. So
that's dedication.
So I'll keep progress on that.
So you're not enjoying it at all, right, Liam?
That's great.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's got a dub, so I can like watch it while I do other things. So that helps.
Is it a good dub?
Yeah, it's actually like a really high budget show. Like it's one of like the highest budget animes of its time. But it's not from winter 2017, so I'll stop talking about it.
Who else do we have with us?
Me. Hi, everyone. My name is Veda, and I'm slightly underwhelmed by this winter 2017 season.
I agree with you, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I've got some things that might whelm you all over the place.
You're gonna. Yeah. Well, there's one thing that has whelmed me.
Was it my Snapchat?
Maybe the cats. Maybe. I mean,
Snapchat?
I guess I should follow you on
Snapchat. Let's just say there's There's new boob physics in town, and they're titillating.
Oh, nice fun.
Well done.
Are we all
classy?
Are we all introduced?
I think so.
Yep.
Yay!
So who wants to go first?
I don't know.
Becca, you're the host.
All right. As queen of the podcast, I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite things I watched.
Okay.
So this is the first. So when I pick out the way this episode works, I should take a step back. The way this episode works is we all basically were given free reign to watch any 3 or more episodes of shows from the winter 2017 season. But I think all of us watch 3. There's a couple similarities, but other than that, we're kind of all over the place. So we're gonna go through this roll call style, each sharing and telling, and it's kind of like show and tell in grade 1. It's gonna be great. So myself personally, I picked out my animes by going to Mal and then just like reading through the descriptions and picking out the ones that sounded interesting.
Me too.
And one of the ones that like really interested me is called Nyanko Days.
Of course.
So it's about a girl and her 3 cats.
Oh my god.
Sounds adorable.
Yeah.
And she's very socially introverted. She doesn't make a lot of friends, so her friends are her cats.
Oh my god, it's me.
And as I was watching it, I was like, it's like Veda. It's adorable. So this was kind of a cheat. I didn't realize when I picked it out. They're only 2-minute episodes, so I've watched all 4 episodes.
You should know that now from oh my gosh.
I should know to check, right?
What? No,
it says it on
the other one with the cats.
Donyatsu.
Which I also really loved, and maybe it's just because it has cats in it, but
maybe.
So anyway,
pastry cats.
I'm gonna be real quick about this one because it's such a short anime. We're talking like 2-minute episodes. It's really easy to get through. It's really cute. All the cats are kind of drawn as like chibi people with cat ears and tails, and they all speak English, and like they're the main girl's only friends. But they're all really cute, and it doesn't have an opener because it's so short. The closing sequence is literally 30 seconds, so it's like a quarter worth of the show every time you watch. But it's all the cats are dancing and singing, and at one point
like Donyatsu?
Yeah,
that sounds like this sounds so familiar.
But it's like, oh fuck, what was the line? This is the very first one I watched, so I'm like really shady on what happened. It's like Nanyako is love or something like that. And I was like, yes, it is. It's just really cute and it's like zero commitment at all. I really highly recommend because it's just so cute and it's got cats and what more do you need?
Becca send that
so
to me.
Pure.
Yeah, so it's really, that's my first one. I don't want to, I don't want to spoil it, but there's cats.
Well, I'm sold.
Yes, if you're a dog person, this may not necessarily be for you, but it's also, like, it's drawn really well, the quality's there. It's
well, when
not
you
like,
only have to
cute.
animate 2 minutes.
This is true. But, like, you remember that fart anime we watched?
I don't know if we can put that in this.
Yeah, but, like, that's a short one that's, like, 5 minutes long, and it's also kind of a weird concept. I did not like that one, because the animation was so weird, and it was about a fart.
That was trying to be pretty weird on purpose, though.
Yeah, but, like, this one kind of makes me think of it because it's kind of a weird concept. But, I don't know, highly recommend. 2 thumbs way up. Somebody else can talk now.
Oh, you're not listing all of yours first?
No, I figured we could do, like, one.
Oh, I thought we were doing them, like, all at once.
Yeah, me too.
No, because then you gotta
That's
fucking
what I
listen
thought, too.
Then you gotta listen to me talk for, like, an hour? That's boring. Someone
Fair.
else talk for a bit.
That's what I had anticipated. I'll go next.
Okay.
Which shall I talk about first? I kind of have opinions on all the ones I watched.
That's why we're here.
That's what this show's all about.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because it's me. I'm like the token romance, shoujo, all that jazz. The closest thing I found was to that kind of thing was Kuzu no Honkai, and it's basically okay. So it is like a school romance anime, kind of slice of lifey, but it's actually like it's R17. Like,
oh boy, slice of life with sex.
I actually didn't know when I went to go watch it, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh dear.
You like dimmed the brightness on your screen a bit.
Long story short, synopsis wise, basically is okay. There's these 2 high school kids, whatever. One's one guy, one girl, and basically they're both in love with their teachers. So like the guy's in love with the female music teacher, and the girl's in love with her homeroom male teacher or whatever, because they both conveniently knew those teachers outside of school from like years prior.
Okay.
So it was kind of like they've had crushes on these 2 adults since they were kids kind of thing. And basically because they can't be with the teachers, they decide to just basically use each other for like
entertainment.
Yeah, because they're lonely. So it's basically about them having it's like they're physically using each other to like forget about the teachers they're in love with, and like they pretend it's like the teacher that they're like having sex with, basically.
Oh, wow. Not what I expected.
Sounds healthy.
This is weird.
And it's actually like it's not like first you have that like love square going on, and then there's like triangles that attach to the corners of those squares. Like the second episode came on when I was I was sewing or something like that, whatever, anyway. So I kind of, like, looked at the second episode a little bit, and all of a sudden now there's this lesbian girl who's in love with the main character, and the main character invited her over for a sleepover, and the girl who has a crush on her totally misread the situation, and the episode ends with her, like, on top of her in the bed.
Sexy.
And the one girl being like, oh god, what the fuck is happening?
This is wonderful.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
It actually, like, it wasn't bad. Like, it was kind of different because you don't normally see that kind of thing. And it wasn't done, like, fan servicey or anything. It wasn't. It was more just like a...
intriguing.
Regular, like, not mature storyline, but, you know, it wasn't done to be, like, raunchy. And it wasn't any of the stupid, like, oh, you're touching me? I'm gonna make all these girlish squeal sounds because I don't actually want this and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it wasn't like that at all. The main character girl, like, knows exactly what she's getting into.
Yeah.
And is, like, okay with it. For the most part, or whatever. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not too sure where it's gonna go. Like, I don't know if it would be worth it. Like, I imagine those two will probably end up actually liking each other or something, and then, like, who the fuck knows?
Right.
Oh, and also the instructors like each other.
Of course they do.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this, like, big, long thing, and I'm like... It's... The dynamic of the show is slightly intriguing enough to watch it.
Yeah.
But it would really have to, like, keep it up in the first handful of episodes, I think, or else, like... it might not be worth it. It could go either way, but...
Did you just watch the first episode?
Just the first and then the bit of the second episode that I kind of, like, glanced at while I was doing whatever else.
Do you think it'll kind of be like Pull of Super Lovers, where it just ends up being, like, the random romantic miscommunication of the week kind of thing?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna turn into, like, a teen drama, love triangles, squares, octagons, whatever.
Boys, CW animated.
But I don't know. I didn't necessarily appreciate how much tongue they emphasized on with the kissing, though. But you know, yeah. It wasn't Saikon no Koizu, though, so I mean that's good.
Find the silver lining.
But I don't know if you like school anime, romance anime, even like a bit of slice of life, but you're kind of sick of the too young and innocent. It's going to take 30 episodes for them to even hold hands. Give this one a try, and you'll probably like it.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to watch any more of it, but I don't, like, regret watching it, I guess, so, yeah.
You never know. We fall down weird rabbit holes sometimes.
Yes, we do, indeed. Yep.
Very good.
Well, I can go next.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Well, I'll start with the one I only watched one episode of, and that was the Maid Dragon of Kobayashi-san. Oh wait, that's okay. There's a few translations for it. There's also Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and it's also Kobayashi-san Shino Maid Dragon. And so I guess I'll read the quick synopsis. Kobayashi lives alone in an apartment until one day Toru appears and they end up living together. Toru looks down on humans as inferior and foolish, but having been saved by Kobayashi-san, she does everything she can to repay the debt and help her with various things, although not everything goes according to plan. That synopsis is really bad because it doesn't say that Toru is a dragon.
Okay.
Which fills it.
Yeah.
So the first episode, it had its good funny moments. It's definitely like aimed towards the otaku audience because the dragon part is a little fan servicey. Like she's got some boobs that are bouncing around a lot, but it is funny. Like they do have a lot of funny scenes where she'll like, where Kobayashi will be like late for work, and then Toru will be like, "Oh, just take a ride with me," and then she just turns into like a huge fucking dragon, and then Kobayashi's like trying to hang on to her on her back. It's like, oh my god, this is horrible. And then she's like, and then Toru is like, later on, she's like, "So what do maids do anyways?" And she has like all these weird backwards ideas about what a maid actually does, and then Kobayashi's like, "No, you have to like clean and do laundry," and like Toru's idea of cleaning is like using her magical fire to make everything in the apartment disappear. And then she's like, no, that's not how you do it. And she's like, oh, okay. So then she like uses her fire again to make everything reappear. And then to do laundry, she just like puts all the laundry in her mouth and like chews it. She's like, oh, my saliva can purify it. And Kobayashi's like, no, you have to do it properly.
Oh dear.
And there's kind of like the moment where it's like to the otaku audience.
Yeah.
I forget what the line was exactly, but basically the maid admits to her, is like, no, I mostly want to be your maid because I'm attracted to you sexually. Even though like the vibes she was giving off before like didn't really hint that at all. But
yeah,
the Kobayashi character is funny because she's just like a programmer working in an office that like goes out and gets drunk frequently. Like that's how she like met the dragon in the first place. She like just stumbles into the forest drunk late at night and just starts chatting up this dragon. So then when she like wakes up the next morning hungover, the like dragon is transformed into a maid like in her house. She's like, hey, good morning. And she's like, who are you?
I live here now.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, and then there's like another part where some guys are like breaking into her apartment while she's away at work. So they like open the door and there's just like this enormous dragon head in the way of the door. So there's some good funny moments. It's definitely like pretty light, little fan servicey.
Like
it's not like the humor, the otaku humor isn't as good as it was, or I didn't like it as much as I did from Konosuba. So I don't think I'm gonna keep watching it. If I if I didn't have a couple other shows on the go, maybe I'd catch some. Or it also kind of fills the same niche that like Nichiju does.
Oh.
Like My Ordinary Life, where it's like, oh, I just want something kind of like a random comedy episode to watch every couple weeks.
Yeah.
But like Nichiju is still better.
Sorry, I'm wrestling for a moment.
Nichiju is still better than this, so so it didn't quite have enough for me to keep watching.
It almost sounds a little bit like Oh My Goddess, where it's just like the extra special entity randomly latches onto a person and fucks up their shit a little bit.
I've never seen that, but
I guess one of the things there was a couple cool moments where they were like adding in hints of like side characters that might show up. They're all named after like other mythological dragons, and they're all probably gonna have like funny anime personalities like Toru. So
is it gonna become like a harem with dragons?
I don't know. It could. It very
do they have
well
like
could.
dragon features?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry?
Stuff? Like, do they have dragon features like tails and shit?
Well, yeah, Kobayashi or Toru. She's just like looks like a regular busty maid girl, but then she has two kind of antler like horns, and then she also has like a big fat green tail that like trails out under the skirt and like drags along the ground.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
It's not bad. So, yeah, it just doesn't quite match my refined otaku palette.
Oh.
You're so cultured, Liam. That's the word I'm looking for.
Thanks.
High class.
You're welcome.
Thanks for lying.
Yeah, you're too cool for me. I wouldn't lie.
All right, so Veda's next.
Yay. It's me.
So excited about it.
Yay. I'm not trying to be like unexcited. I don't know.
She's unexcited.
Way to judge me.
She's just thinking about the end credits of Yuri on Ice where it says, see you at the next level.
What does next level mean?
And you're like, where's my goddamn
I'm still trying to analyze it.
Can I marry two animes at one time?
They're both part of the same anime, so I can just marry them all.
Fair enough.
It's fine. It's good. I got this covered.
It's okay. You can be a polygamist.
For Yuri on Ice.
For Yuri on Ice. Do whatever you want.
Right, okay, cool. So, I watched, actually I was talking to Mackenzie, who you listeners might know from a couple of our other episodes, maybe just one, actually. And she actually recommended me to watch, Masamune-kun no Revenge, which is unsurprisingly a harem romance.
What?
I'm so surprised.
I was like, oh wow, I'm shocked right now. So I'm not super into harem animes, so I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. And I actually didn't hate it, so that's a good start. So it's Masamune-kun's Revenge in English, and it's done by Studio Silverlink, which has also done a bunch of other like harem animes.
Yeah.
Like Non Non Biori, Kokoro Connect, Baka to Test, and Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that
boy.
show.
So I'll read the synopsis here. As a child, Masamune Makabe once suffered greatly at the hands of a wealthy and beautiful girl named Adagaki, who nicknamed him Piggy due to his chubby appearance.
I think I was gonna watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeking revenge against his tormentor, Masamune works hard to improve himself and returns as an incredibly handsome, albeit narcissistic high school student. When he encounters Aki once again, he is prepared to exact vengeance. And there's more to that, but basically his vengeance just ends up being, I'm hot now, so I'm gonna go and seduce you, and then when you like me, I'm gonna dump you in a really dramatic fashion.
Oh my god, they're cruel intentioning it?
Yeah, that's like exactly what that is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and like, I like, the show is just, it's not really my thing, but it was also not bad, and I kind of liked it in a weird way.
Which then, if given you felt like that and it wasn't your thing, then for people who it is their thing, it's probably pretty good?
Yeah, probably. It's really hard for me to judge.
See, I was gonna say, I thought about watching this one, but I think it was the part where it's like, he comes back to enact his revenge, that I was like, that he's gonna fall in love with her, and then they're gonna get together, and I'm gonna be bored.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Like, you can already tell in the first couple episodes where you're like, oh, look, they're totally not gonna, like, actually fall in love after he's all like, I'm gonna dump you. I'm like, no, you're not. I doubt it.
I see past your lies, Barack Obama.
Perfect.
Why do we get strangely political about the states on this podcast?
I was just quoting Alex Jones there for some reason.
It's all good. Oh, there was a great line at like the beginning of the episode that was like, if you're not a hot guy, you're not human.
Oh
my god.
I'm not a hot guy though, Veda. What does it say?
You're not human, Becca. There's
what's
some,
a hot girl
I've been
or a
living
girl?
a lie.
I don't know.
Only hot guys matter.
Only hot guys are humans. Hot women are like a completely other race.
Screw
Only
all
hot
lives
white
matter.
guys?
Hot guys matter.
I think I'm gonna thank you for setting up, Veda.
Oh boy. But yeah, so there's some line. He actually says a bunch of like really narcissistic shit like that at the beginning, and like right when it starts, you don't actually know that he was this pudgy little fat kid at the beginning, which has been a weirdly like prevalent thing in the past 2 seasons. Because I watched 2 shows last season where this happened.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
so like that happens in Yuri on Ice. What else does it happen in?
Kiss Him Not Me, where the girl like locks herself in her room for a week and comes out magically beautiful.
Yeah,
that is how it goes.
It's clear, like, this guy has worked really hard because he has, like, all this exercise equipment, and he's like, no, I can't eat those. That has too many calories, you know, all the time. I'm gonna have to go do, like, 26 push-ups after eating this piece of bread. Because that's exactly what happens.
It's a shitty life to live.
I know, but he's all like, I don't care because I'm attractive and only hot guys matter, clearly.
This guy's got some fucked up priorities. Pizza's delicious.
It's a bit weird. It's not, their motives are a bit odd. Especially him being all like, I'm just gonna go dump her now because, I don't know, it's petty. But that's, I don't know, it's
those are
kind of
teenagers.
Fun. Yeah. Also,
Am I right?
Isn't that the dream, to just show up to that person that rejected you and be like all hot and be like, in your fucking face?
Yeah, and that's why it's an anime. It's like a
little
revenge fantasy, you know?
Well, and sometimes predictable things are, like, you know, like you guys are saying how you're sure they're gonna fall in love, blah, 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 whatever. Or even, like, the anime I watched. I mean, like, if that's what you're in the mood for and you're not in the mood to be surprised,
it's not a
fine,
bad thing.
It's good.
No,
but
not
if
at
it's
all.
not what you're in the mood for, or it's almost too cliche, then it's kind of like, nope, we're done.
It doesn't feel like it's gonna be, like, super cliche. For one, he's not, like, a typical, like, I don't know, this is a harem, I'm assuming. Like, they haven't introduced the other girls yet. I'm sure there'll be more. But, like, he's not, like, the typical annoying harem protagonist, you know, where they're always, like, really wimpy and people just,
for some reason. Kind? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's, like, this weird, narcissistic kind of jerk that you kind of hate a little bit for being annoying, but he's also, like, he has qualities that make him not kind of jerky. I don't know.
Maybe it's more about his growth as a character and our acceptance.
Yeah, that's probably more of it. That's what they'll get into more later. The show does look really nice, too. Like, the character designs are very, they're very kind of harem-y, but they're pretty. Everything looks really pretty in this show. The one complaint I do have, though, is the music, oddly enough. Like, it's not bad music. It's actually pretty good, but it's, like, way too dramatic for what's going on. There was one scene where they were just, like, standing there having a conversation, and there's, like, these just, like, violins and shit and piano being all, like, da-na-na-na-na-na in the background, and I was like... This is a little too much. Like, it would fit in, like, a drama, but not this.
Hey, remember Gilgamesh?
I was gonna say, we watched another one that was kind of like that recently, where the music was really out of place.
I can't remember.
But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
never mind.
But other than that, the show's fun. It was cute. I think, if you like harem animes, you'll probably like this one. I don't know if I will keep watching. Like, it's not something I'd be like, I gotta go and watch that episode of Masamune-kun this week. But, like, if I was really bored, maybe, like, watch a couple episodes at a time.
Fair enough.
It was decent. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but it was, like, doable.
We've also watched much worse.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
My standards are different now.
Cool. Well... like I said, it was definitely on my list of things that I looked at, and then just kind of opted for.
I don't know, like, I don't know if this was just me. Like, even before watching the 3 episodes that I did, I was just kind of really overwhelmed. Like, underwhelmed looking at what was out this season. Like, I really had to sit there and was like a lot of seasons I'm like, oh, I'll watch that, and whatever. Same. And this season's like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch this one.
Yeah, I kind of had to struggle too, where I was like, I don't really want to watch any of these.
But yeah, that was like when we decided, it's like, oh yeah, let's each watch at least 3 shows, and then I was like, because like when the season started, there was 2 shows I was gonna watch for sure, and then the rest I didn't really care about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's definitely I found a lot of sequels this season.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah,
there was.
Like Haikyuu Part 2 is happening.
I feel like that happens probably
Haikyuu's
more
got
often in
further,
winter
doesn't
seasons.
it?
Or Haikyuu Season 4 or something.
I'm not
like
necessarily against the sequels, it just feels like this particular season has a lot of sequels.
It does. I mean, there's that. There was, like, Blue Exorcist Season 2, and then Zestria or whatever. That
Super Lovers.
Konosuba, Super Lovers.
Konosuba, Super Lovers, yeah.
Yeah, like, it just...
a lot.
Which, I guess we'll get more into that shortly.
Yeah. What else did you watch, Becca?
Okay, well...
Back to you.
Alright. I'm gonna talk about the other decent one that I watched first.
Sure.
Because I do have one that was really bad. But, so I watched another one called Yurara Michiru? I'm really sorry, I'm butchering everything.
Don't worry about it.
So anyway, it's basically about a girl called Chia who goes to a town called Labyrinth Town where... women go to be trained to become psychics.
Neat.
So I watched this show right after I finished watching the cat show, and this show opens up with a girl being like woken up by forest animals. So I was like, oh, I guess the theme of this season is animals. Cool. So basically her backstory is that she was raised in a really remote part of the country, and she has come to this town. She doesn't know anything about living in civilization. This town has a bunch of, like, really strict laws and stuff like that. So one of the very first things that happens when she gets to the town is all of her animal friends that are just following her, they go and steal a bunch of food to bring to her because she's hungry. And then basically the police sergeant of the town comes up and is like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Make your animals give that food back. And she, like, immediately lifts her shirt and is God. I'm so sorry! So she thinks that whenever you apologize, you have to show your belly.
Oh.
Which is like a reoccurring
I thought it was
thing.
Like an animal thing.
Well, yeah, so like they don't explain it for over half the episode, but she just keeps like lifting her shirt and showing her stomach and the majority of her boobs. You never see nipples though, so like it's rated PG-13. Anyway, she doesn't know anything about living in this world. She doesn't know anything about psychics. She just knows that she has to go to this town to find her mom. She's joined by 3 other girls, and they're all basically going to be in training together underneath another psychic. So it's PG-13. It kind of feels like it's for teens almost, or like younger adults. It's really cute. It's kind of moe style with everybody with big eyes, and like they're really cute and girly. The colors are really nice. It's got like a real nice pop to it.
Nice.
I really like the style that it's drawn in. It's cutesy, everything's round, it's cute, it's nice, wholesome fun, except for the whole like I'm sorry thing where she shows off her gut. I only watched the first episode of it because I'm a lazy fuck. But I'm kind of interested to see where this one goes, just because it's kind of a nice break from watching the more serious stuff that I tend to watch, or like the more involved, politically drama-y type stuff. It's just cute, and I'm kind of wondering where it's going to go, because if it's just about their training, then it becomes slice of life, and it's kind of not as interesting as I'd like it to be. But I'm assuming it will probably become her looking for her mother and finding out why exactly she was drawn to this town and everything. One of the really remarkable moments, every single character that you see in the first episode are women. The police sergeant looks a lot like a boy, though, so at first I was like, don't know if male or female, and then they call her a she, and so later on we see her in a cafe with 2 of her sidekicks, and they're just like they're swooning over her and all like, no, I want to buy her soup, no, I want to buy her soup, and it's just like, it's kind of cute in like a lesbian way, and I don't know, I just thought it was kind of funny to watch, because it's just there to make you feel happy.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think if you're into kind of cutesy stuff that's low stakes, this would be one worth kind of checking out. Like I said, I'm interested to see where it goes, and that's all I really have to say about this one.
Cute.
Also, the animals are so cute.
Can't go wrong with cute animals.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that sound was.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what
It's
Forbidden
just-
says.
It's just the lid that was a little scrapey.
Crinkly.
Okay, the second one I watched was Youjo Senki. I will just read the synopsis. It's not very long. Okay. On the front lines of war, there is a little girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and porcelain white skin. She commands her squad with lisping voice. Her name is Tanya Dugrachoff. But in reality, she's one of Japan's most elite salarymen, reborn as a little girl after angering a mysterious being who calls himself God. This little girl who prioritizes efficiency in her own career over anything else will become the most dangerous being amongst the sorcerers of the Imperial Army. Okay, so, this is done by Studio Nut, which makes it look like it's the first one.
Interesting.
But it's produced by, like, the same people who did Steins Gate, No Game, No Life, Soul Eater, Ray Zero.
Okay.
So it's got some, like, major backing behind it, and the animation
Sounds
looked...
pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Puns.
I love puns. So, like, and the animation looked really cool, so I was like, okay, like, I'll give it a try, especially because, like I was saying before, nothing else was really catching my eye this season.
I thought about
This one did
as
catch
well.
my eye.
Yeah, okay, the unfortunate thing with this one is I feel like I wasn't in the right mood to watch it, because it's more, like, serious, and it's, like, a war anime, right? So, in a way, it's kind of dry, but it's not at the same time, so I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. Because the concept's really intriguing. Like, this little girl is, like, just batshit crazy. Like, she's just, like, so heartless. Like, it makes sense that she's, like, got a cold-hearted military man inside of her.
Yeah.
But the other characters...
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god, Leah, I didn't even, like...
I just didn't even...
Shocked silence.
I didn't think about it either.
Thanks, Liam.
There's not even
No,
a
you're making
proper
me
way
feel
to
like
fix
her.
that. Oh my god.
Just keep going, Leah.
Oh my god.
So she's got a man inside her.
Yeah. A cold-hearted military man.
You guys, please stop.
This is getting weirder and weirder.
Okay, I'm trying to bring it together here without making things sound even worse.
We've made it so hard for
I'm sorry.
Oh god.
Okay.
Good.
The other character in the show that they've introduced is like her. It's just no good way of saying this now, Liam. What the?
You said it.
Oh.
Sorry, it's
What?
my
I don't
fault.
know, like,
I
her-
accept responsibility.
Her next in command or whatever, who is a female character, which is, I guess, I'd like to say it's intriguing, but at this point it's really not. Anyway, she seems pretty funny though. The
good.
animation really reminds me a bit of Trigger, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
I was kind of,
Like the fluidity of it?
yeah, and
I was kind of
like
wondering
their
about this
eyes and
because it looks like the few screenshots I saw of it. It almost makes me think of like Full Metal Alchemist. The style. But correct me, please.
I could get how you would think that without actually watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you watch it, it's not quite the same.
Okay, fair enough.
The faces aren't. Like, the backgrounds and stuff, I would say that, yeah, that's actually not a bad comparison.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the first episode, basically, like, they don't tell you for, like, if it wasn't for that description, you actually wouldn't know that, I'm gonna try and say this properly, the soul of a military general
Yay!
This
Resi-
better is
Yeah, that
inside
works.
the little girl's body. Okay?
So desu ka.
Hi. So, they don't tell you that. So if it wasn't for the description, you wouldn't know.
You just think
so I
she's some
kinda
like
wish that
crazy
I
little kid.
Didn't know when I watched it, because I'd be like, what?
Like when I had heard about it before from, I don't know, like Crunchyroll or other anime YouTubers, like that was kind of what they said, I think. Or like I heard that from somewhere without like actively going out and reading the synopsis. But...
What, that they wish they didn't know, or that they...
No, that
That's what it
there
is.
was a military man in her mind, or whatever.
However,
Mm-hmm.
the appropriate way you want to say this. Yeah, so basically the first episode is really, you're kind of getting introduced to the army and the world, and it basically looks like Europe. And they talk about, like, the Rhine and everything and stuff like that. But you're basically just learning that she's, like, really ruthless and, like, can decimate an army on her own because she's that strong of a mage and blah, blah, blah. And she basically, like, these two guys, like, disobey her during battle, so she puts them into a, like, just, like, one of the patrol towers or whatever during the next battle. And her second in command is like, oh, so she's not that mad. She's putting them, like, on the back lines where it's safe. But then, of course, that, like, the bomb shelter tower or whatever ends up getting destroyed, and she knew it would. So she basically killed them, or put them where she knew they'd die because they were being insubordinate.
That's brutal.
Ouch.
Blah, blah, blah. And that's basically just kind of how the first episode is. I wish I had been more in the mood to watch it, because, like, the animation's really good, the plot line is intriguing enough, and I think it has potential, so I think it's worth for people to check out, especially if you're into like war and battle, but like that hint of fantasy and stuff like that is, I think,
I can
really
get
good.
why you thought I would watch it.
Yeah, it seems like something you would be into, Liam, so
I
think you
almost
should give it a
did
try.
watch this one, but then I want to go like a bit more just like straight up comedy. But it was pretty close between this one and Kobayashi, Dragon Maid, blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Like, I did enjoy the episode I watched. I just know that it wasn't what I was in the mood to watch, so I'm just making note of that in my review. It's gotten pretty good reviews so far on Mal, so
I think it's one of the more
I say
popular
go watch
ones.
it, weebs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. How many thumbs up?
1.
Okay. I'll take it.
Out of
good. 2.
How many thumbs does everyone
I
have?
don't know.
oh.
2 thumbs. Fuck.
Is it me next?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's hear it, Liam. What you got?
Well, my second one is Konosuba 2. I don't know if I don't think the other episode about us talking about Konosuba is out.
We talked about
the
one.
old one, yeah.
No.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it a while ago, but I didn't watch it. But I did go back and watch all the first season, which was only 10 episodes, oddly enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have just finished it. Sorry.
And it was pretty awesome and hilarious.
It was.
Like I mentioned earlier, it also has like some good otaku humor, kind of like No Game No Life, but like the plot and characters are different enough that it's like No Game No Life and Konosuba are like pretty like different and separate. And the second season, I've watched 3 episodes. The 4th one comes out tomorrow, I think. It's so far it hasn't been as good as the first season, but it's still like keeping it fairly fresh with that same kind of humor and just like continuing the story along. There has been a couple like, I guess, animation blips where they're just like, whoa, that face was like very crudely animated for a couple seconds there, and now it's back to normal. And like there's the 3rd episode that just came out was a little like, I guess, wasn't entirely sure what's there, so I'm pretty sure like I will enjoy the rest of the show as it goes on, and I'm gonna keep watching it week to week. I'm not sure if it's gonna be as good as the first season at this point. But we'll have to see.
Do you think they got a bit of a budget cut?
No,
I think part of it?
I don't think it's budget. I think
Is
it's
it just like
them just trying to meet deadlines and stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, most of the humor comes from the dialogue though, so it's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, we'll see. They might like it'd be cool to see them try and like develop some of the characters a bit more and like take some risks. I know there is a manga for Konosuba that has like gone a lot further in the story. I haven't looked into it just because spoilers, but I've heard like mixed things about that, so we'll see if the show like goes along with that. I know they've changed a decent amount so far.
Fair enough.
But in the second episode they did introduce a cat, so there's that.
Ooh.
And it's like a cat
Nice.
with little bat wings.
Sold.
Now it's cute.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if you liked Konosuba, you'll continue to like Konosuba 2. And it's not too hard to get through and catch up. Although episode 9 of the first season of Konosuba is like the weakest episode, but just get through it. It gets better after that. Don't worry.
You heard it here first.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Alrighty.
How many thumbs?
I'll give it like 1 thumb up and then 1 thumb that's at like 3/4 up.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough.
Assuming I can only use 2 thumbs.
The like semi-flaccid thumb.
Sure.
That's all I've got. I feel like we're kind of low energy tonight, so.
My bad, I'm making us start late.
No,
it's okay.
Life's busy.
We're just chiller tonight than some other night.
I'm
just
concentrating on not trying to embarrass myself.
And let's face it, there's no Yuri this season.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
No.
Alright.
You'll get through, Veda.
Yes.
I have faith.
Oh, I know. I Yuri on Ice isn't like the only thing that matters to me. Okay.
You say that like you have to like stretch your mind to what else matters to me.
I'm being
Waffle
serious.
matters.
Like I love the show, but I still like other stuff. I just don't want to
How's
be
Gurren
like everyone
Lagann
be
going?
like, oh, Veda doesn't love anime, she just likes Yuri on Ice. I still haven't watched any more Gurren Lagann, I'm sorry.
We lead busy lives sometimes. It's okay.
I just, I need time to finish that show.
Veda's the most otaku of us all. That's why I asked.
How are your Tappy Tap games, Veda?
My Tappy Tap games? Actually, I haven't played Love Live in a really long time.
But you were playing that dancing cow one earlier today.
Yeah, that's... Okay, no,
Don't
there was
tell
a
them
cow
that,
in the
Becca.
song. That's a Hatsune Miku game.
I'm here to out Veda as playing the dancing cow game, whatever it is, because she should have been watching anime. She was like, yeah, I watched some stuff, but I don't have much to say. And I was like, well, then go watch more Veda.
I did. I went and watched another episode.
Yeah. I mean, you could put a Tappy Cow game at the same time.
It's...
And it was really cute.
It's a cute song. There's yodeling, it's great.
Oh, God.
The song is called Oh Hi Yodel.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
the best. It cracks me up. Anyway, so for the second anime I watched this. I've seen the first season of Blue Exorcist, so I was like, I'll give the second season a shot. But it's been a little while since I've seen the first one, so
How was season 1, by the way? I feel like I've looked at the show several times and then just never watched it.
It's like you can clearly tell it's directed more at like teenagers.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
That's
that like
pretty
supernatural.
shonen-y?
Yeah, a little bit shonen-y. It's not as shonen-y as some other stuff that I've
Kinda
seen. But yeah.
Inuyasha-y and Yu-Gi-Oh-y and...
I've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh! No, I don't know about
Oh,
Inuyasha because it's like
man.
they're at a school, like a not magical school, but
They're at,
kind
like,
of.
They're at like
They're an academy.
friendly Van Helsing school.
I've never seen Van Helsing actually.
Is it like D. Gray Man?
Is it like the
Maybe,
Exorcist
but there's
but
not
blue?
like super big battles.
Oh
like
my
there were in
God,
D. Gray
Becca.
Man. What did you say?
I don't know anything about Blue Exorcist. I've also seen it like on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched
And
it on Netflix.
Think I've been tempted to watch it a couple times, but I kind of just, and this is like a horrible assumption to make, but I kind of just assume that if it's on Netflix, it's not like the best anime ever.
I
What
kinda
about
did the same thing.
Madoka?
Kill la
Yeah,
Kill's
well,
on
that's
Netflix.
That's exactly
Those
it. though.
girls
Okay,
are gone.
Okay,
Yeah,
calm your
but
tits for a
Netflix
second.
has to come up with like 5 good ones
Yeah.
to attract people, and then
'Cause,
the
like,
rest are like,
Okay, fine.
Because, like, the other stuff they have are, like, Naruto, and, like, I love you, Inuyasha, for the nostalgia, but quality-wise, it's, like, a solid 6.5, 7
Maggie's
at best.
on Netflix, and I love that show.
Fair enough, but I just, like, anytime I've tried to watch anything on there, well, I guess Silver Spoon's on there as well. But
Attack
I
on
just,
Titan.
no, this is
You
where
like
I'm
Attack
like,
on
this is where I'm
Titan?
like, it's a bad assumption to make, because I know there's good stuff on Netflix.
no, I'm with
but
you, Becca. I
the minute
understand.
it's on Netflix, I'm like, this probably isn't that good.
I
And there's
understand
something
what
that
you mean.
no one's heard about, and it's on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
really not very good.
Like, on
I
the-
understand you, Becca.
Because
I
on the
agree.
flip side, like, a Jin that they've been trying to, like, force down my fucking throat for the
Yeah.
past month, I tried to watch the first episode of that, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I had to shut it off. So...
I've heard that one's actually pretty good.
I have
Yeah, I've heard it's
so
not bad.
many friends trying to get me to watch Ruby, and I just
Yeah.
can't because of the animation. But apparently, it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Or maybe they
That's
also
not
don't watch a
anime,
lot of
though.
anime, so
Yeah, I don't know about that
that could be
one.
why.
But anyway,
We'll see.
So anyway,
It looks like it has good
Blue
fight
Exorcist.
scenes.
fight scenes. Blue Exorcist, back to the point.
You missed
like
you
I
missed
said-
Becca's bad joke though. She was like, "Is it like The Exorcist but blue?"
Thank you, Liam.
I didn't hear that. Oh my god.
Oh, that
Thanks,
would be an
Liam.
interesting thing
Can't-
to watch.
I
Oh,
can't
I'm
just
so
let
happy
that-
that you brought that back up. I didn't hear that.
I
or
can't
would've
just let that
appreciated it.
slide.
No, thank you,
No,
Liam.
thank you. And thank you, Becca.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Why are you guys
Aw.
thanking her?
She's
Because I'm
it.
the queen, you have to.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Tell me about the second season of Blue Exorcist.
Okay, so it's done. It's called Aono Exorcist Kyoto Fujioho Hen or something like that, and it's just the Blue Exorcist Kyoto Impure King arc. So I'm not sure if this is like a separate arc from the manga that they like skipped over some. I don't know, or if it follows like directly after the first season. I don't know. I haven't read the manga. It's done by A1 Pictures, which also
That's a
did
bad sign.
Yeah, A1 has a bad reputation. Which they also did Erase, Shinsekai Yori, and Your Lie in April. Those are the good ones.
Those are some good ones.
But those are
yeah.
But maybe I'm thinking of something else. Didn't they do Sword Art Online?
I believe so.
Well, many people do love sword art.
They have like the Boys Criticism, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so I have a little synopsis here that probably won't make sense unless you've seen the first season, but the story of Blue Exorcist continues with the students of True Cross Academy alongside the Exorcist to fight the demons that appear on Earth. So the whole thing is just like they go to this school to become exorcists to fight demons, and like they're the students, so you're following the students. The eye of Fujio-O, the impure king, was stolen from the secret room of the True Cross Academy. Ren and his friends are sent to recover the stolen eye in Kyoto, which is where the second eye is located. Ryuji's family's mission is to protect it at all costs, but when both eyes are used together, the impure king, a demonic entity that has left thousands dead in the middle of the 19th century, will be brought back to life. So I think, like, I only watched one episode of this show, and the first episode was all basically set up for this whole, like, thing.
I'm stepping away for a moment.
Okay.
Wow, this show's so interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm assuming this probably gets more interesting later, but as of the first episode, it wasn't, like, the most entertaining thing to watch, because it was like, oh, look, a battle! There's some kid who got captured by a dude, and now the main character's gonna go save him, and it's like, okay.
Is it not, like, at least set up for, like, people that maybe watched Blue Exorcist, like, 5 years ago? However long ago it was produced.
They did, like a little
recap?
bit. They did, like, a tiny bit of recap near the end where they were like, remember, like, they showed, like, the clips in sepia tone, you know, they're like, look, remember that happened? That was crazy. Because there was, like, a big battle.
That was crazy.
Yeah. There's a big battle at the end of the first season. And so they were like, look at that. But then they never really, like, bring it up, except for there's this whole thing where, so the main character, I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. The main character is, like, the son of Satan. And, like, none of the other kids knew this until the end of the first season. So then in the second season, they're all, like, all of his friends are like, we don't know how to feel about you because you're Satan's kid now.
Remember when you were Satan's child?
What does that sound?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just sweeping up some bits.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What kind of bits?
I just came back and I was just
I'll
like,
move my mic.
What's happening?
It's all good.
Go.
Quality
so
radio.
it's like a lot of it was like all of the characters you know from the first season being all like, we don't know how to react to this new situation, and then like the main character and his brother, and they have this weird interaction. I don't know. And then
is this sexy interaction?
I was gonna say, is it a super lovers interaction?
No, it's definitely not. I'm pretty sure some people want it to be. It's not. So like the first season was kind of just all of them at the school, like the academy, like doing stuff, and then occasionally bad things would happen, and they would go and get the creatures. It's been a while, forgive me. And the second season seems like it's gonna be following them more like outside of the school, so you're gonna see like more of the city and stuff that they live in, which is it's an interesting idea. But I haven't seen much of it. It was just sort of like they went on a train and then they were in a building, and that was all that really happened in the first episode.
But what if you're watching it for the high school hijinks?
I'm sure there will probably still be high school hijinks.
Just out in the wild.
Like out and about. Yeah, oot and about.
That's too much for me. It's too much excitement.
Yeah, and I'm like, it seems like an okay start to the season, but because the first episode was all set up, it wasn't the most entertaining thing to watch. So I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm underwhelmed by this. So I'm like, if you like the first season, you'll probably be into this, but I don't think you should watch the second season if you haven't seen the first one.
You don't say.
Yeah, right?
I was gonna ask,
unless you're a rebel.
Is the show like super Christian?
No.
Because you said like that they went to like the Cross Academy or something.
Yeah, True Cross Academy. Like, there's like,
don't they usually subvert like Christian ideology to?
They probably there's probably stuff that I'm totally forgetting. Like, there's probably like allusions to stuff within Christianity, but I don't think it like they're not being like you should become a Christian now. I mean, his dad was a priest or something, or not his dad. It wasn't not his actual dad.
His dad
the
was
person
Satan.
That raised him.
Well,
and yeah, that would be awkward. The person who raised him was like a priest, but also an exorcist, and
maybe subvert is the wrong word, but like I know like Hellsing has like Roman Catholic overtones.
Yeah,
and
there's like
Trinity
elements...
Blood has that too. Like that, like it tends to be a theme that pops up semi-often.
And I think it shows up in the show, definitely. I mean, they talk about it, but
I think
it's
they
not
sometimes
something
do that more to like tie into the theme of the show, not that
Yeah,
it has
creators
nothing to do
actually
with,
want
like,
you to like.
they're not trying to show you any like real parts of the religion. They're just sort of using it as part of the show.
Yeah, that's
to
what
kind
I mean.
of go with the plot.
Yeah, it's kind of like a context that people understand, so they just use it.
Yeah.
Like Catholics are. I'm not gonna say they were Catholics. I'll get lynched or impregnated.
But
boy.
So like I might watch more of this, but I'm not super into it right now, so maybe I'll have to wait a bit.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, it's been kind of disappointing so far in some ways.
It's because we're saving the juicy stuff for the end.
This is true. So my third... I watched 4 animes, although I don't consider... I kind of disqualify the cat one because it's so short.
I watched 4.
My third-ish anime that I watched is the juicy one.
Oh boy.
The juicy one.
Oh boy. So you know how there's animes like Bobobo and 009-1 and what's the other? School Days. These are the ones just off the top of my list that I really didn't like. And you know how there's animes where we go, gee, boob physics isn't a thing anymore. Like, I believe it was...
High School of the Dead.
Yes, that one in particular. So this one is trying to compete with those types of shows, I suppose.
Dear God.
It is a show called Handshakers.
So you had a feeling this was gonna be it.
Yeah. I picked it because handshakers in my mind sounds kind of like flip flappers, and I was interested in flip flappers, and I was like, let's give handshakers a try, and that's the kind of logic that'll fuck you over.
Yeah.
So I haven't read off any of the other producers, but this is produced by Frontier Works, Media Factory, Movic, Sony Music Communications, a bunch of like I don't
what's
recognize
the
any of
studio?
Go Hands.
Go Hands did Handshakers.
Yeah, apparently.
It's meant to be.
Yeah,
so
it was.
The show actually reminded me of a whole bunch of stuff that I generally like. It reminded me a little bit of what's it called now? I can see it in my head. Loveless.
Yeah.
It reminded me of what's that one that's based on the Count of Monte Cristo that I can never remember the name. It reminded me of that a little bit, visually speaking, but not in a good way. Yeah, so anyway, how it ties into Loveless, it's all about how two strangers, quote unquote, end up together and have to like be bound in a certain way to fight against other pairs of strangers that are bound in a certain way. It's called Handshakers because they have to hold hands.
Oh God.
Shouldn't it be hand holders?
What genre would you put this in?
Crap.
The trash?
It's so bad.
No.
The animation, was it kind of CG? Because that was the reason why I didn't end up watching it. Because the concept to me sounded like, okay, could be good. But then I saw the picture for it and I was like, fuck no.
So that's the first reason why this is crap. Just really quickly, my anime list lists it as action.
Is this a lie?
So, well, no, there's lots of action. The reason why, the first reason why I think it's crap, the animation is a mix of CG and hand-drawn, kind of, except I think it's actually all CG. People's bodies are moving in a weird way. For instance, I was, like, Snapchatting Veda while I was watching this, and the first thing that I was like, oh, fuck. There's a scene where the main character is sitting in his classroom, and a girl walks up to them and they have a completely meaningless conversation, and then she takes his iPod and like is listening to his music and she's dancing to his music. All of this is really key to the plot too, by the way. This girl is built like a twig with like balloons on its chest. and the balloons are just waving in the wind. Like, they're jiggling kind of while she's anyway, they move really weird, not like real boobs move, and it was completely grossly unneeded. Like, I don't understand why the conversation even happened, because it had no bearing on anything else that happened.
To give her a reason for her boobs to flap in the wind.
But this chick never shows up again.
So, really? Wow, so it's like not painfully obvious.
Okay, so I watched all but the last like 2.5 minutes of the first episode, because it goes through the credits, and by the credits I was like, I don't want to fucking watch this anymore, and I shut it off. Other things that made this show super low quality, well, in my mind, it opens up with like a battle that happens. The battle is between the main character and his hand partner, and another guy and his hand partner. The other guy and his partner, she just causes chains to happen, and they look really shitty because they're really bad CGI, but he is telling her to wrap herself in chains. She makes orgasmy type noises, because of course she does. And at one point he has like his foot on her to hold her in place. But it's not just on her, it's like on her crotch.
Of course.
Oh, this makes no sense.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense. Like I said, the conversation, like a fucking 5-minute long conversation in the show, results in just like the girl dancing and her boobs moving really weird. The animation, the CGI, it looks so horrible. The only time it's kind of alright is when they first hold hands, they kind of go to like the fighty plane of existence, and it's like everything gets covered in really neat patterns and like bright animation. But it's way too busy to look at. Like, it's hard to focus. And that's where it kind of reminds me a bit of the Count of Monte Cristo, where, like, there's a lot of really interesting textures, except in that one it was kind of done classy and looked really good, and in this one it just kind of makes it look like the animators were like, let's throw some more shit on it, maybe it'll look better. No, it doesn't.
More colors.
It's just... it's not good.
So is it just, like... the CG that's really bad, or everything about it?
No, everything's bad. Like, the story doesn't really make sense entirely. Like, the main character, the guy spends a lot of time explaining how, like, he just naturally fixes things. Like, mindlessly naturally fixes things.
Like, he has a God-given gift and
I
just
don't fucking know.
Magic, like he's Santa Claus?
He's just like, oh, I just fix things while I'm not thinking. Like, it's so weird. It's not explained very well. Like, nothing's explained. It just kind of feels like a bunch of scenes with the same characters in them put together to tell a story about how they have to hold hands. I'm almost tempted to save this one in my back pocket to like make everybody else watch, because it's really bad.
Oh no, we've already talked about it. We can't do it again.
We've never had that rule. So
we do now.
Anyway, it's really bad. Like, the only saving grace of this was I was like, well, at least I have a piece of shit to talk about. So I don't recommend this show to anybody unless you're gonna make it into a drinking game or something like that. It's not good. That's my 2 thumbs down. Seeing how I keep saying thumbs.
Yeah.
Leah, what you got?
I didn't watch 4, so the only one I have left to have in common with Veda. So Veda, I don't know if you want to talk about your last one that only you watched first.
Oh, actually, no. The last one that I watched was...
Oh, yeah,
the last 2 that I watched, other people also watched.
Oh, so yes, that's right. I forgot.
Liam, do you want to tell No, you just have
No, we're going to
do the one that 2 of you watched.
So now we have all the in common stuff up. Okay. All right.
Lift the veil of mystery.
Let me go find my notes.
Veda and I both watched... well, I only watched 1 episode. I don't know how many you watched.
I only watched 1 as well.
Okay. Of ACCA 13th Territory Inspection Department. I have no idea what ACCA stands for. I really couldn't tell you.
Did they say it as ACCA or ACCA? I couldn't remember.
I kept trying to listen for it, but sometimes it's just really hard. Because obviously it's not, in the same language. So I honestly couldn't really hear either. I never heard them say, like, like ACCA or anything. I never heard them go ACCA. I never heard anything. I just was like, okay. But I can read the synopsis here. All right. The Kingdom of Dawa, which is subdivided into 13 states, is celebrating its monarch's 99th birthday. These 13 states have had many agencies that are controlled by the giant organization known as ACCA. Within ACCA, Gene Otis is the second in command of the inspection agency. His agency has 10 people placed in each of the 13 states with a central office in the capital city. They keep track of all activities of ACCA across the kingdom and keep data on each state's office flowing towards the central office. Gene also often has business trips from the capital to the other districts to check on the situation and personnel there. So I think it's a really dry description because I don't know if people really know what the show's gonna go.
I don't either. I was just gonna say, 2 seconds. This is a Studio Madhouse show, and that's like 90% of the reason why I even decided I was gonna watch it.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, Death Parade?
Yeah.
Done?
I got
so much good stuff from Madhouse.
Yeah.
So much good. Also,
So
like,
much.
my arch nemesis, though, the irregular at Magic High School.
That's true.
By Madhouse.
They got Death Note, No Game of Life, One Punch Man,
Hunter x Hunter.
High School of the Dead, Death Parade, B-Tomb. Oh,
Yeah,
so
B-Tomb.
Sometimes you have to
did
give
it.
other people a chance by releasing some shit, you know?
It's true.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So mad.
But no, I was just say basically, like, after the first episode, it's basically him and his department, their job is to make sure the other departments in their ACA government basically aren't fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like internal affairs, basically.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how their, like, whole system worked, but I think my brain was just kind of dead today, and I was like, there's
Fair
some
enough.
sort of police with different districts. The whole country looks like a chicken for some reason.
Oh my god, it's so awesome. It actually does, like, the map of their country is literally a chicken.
Did you notice,
or a
too,
rooster or whatever.
their hats have a little, like, chicken
Yes.
rooster on them, too?
Yes.
And no one
I
ever
love it.
explains this, though. I'm like, why
But
is
it's
it a
so
chicken?
great. I think just because they can, because why the hell not?
It's actually, yeah. no.
What did you think about the animation?
The animation in general was okay. I did notice a couple of odd errors in the animation in the first episode. Maybe it's just me. I did really I like the character designs. I don't know what it is with me, but I like thick lines on characters. And they have, like, these really clean, thick lines on all the characters. Like, they're all, like, black, too. So they pop from the backgrounds really well.
It's definitely a very stylized show.
Mm-hmm. But it's not, like, incredibly stylized, where something like Gankutsuo would be.
Yeah.
It's like, stylized, but at the same time not. If that makes sense.
It's got, like, its own, like, look, but you're not,
yeah.
like, that's not what the show's riding on or anything.
No. The one thing, though, I was, like, for the way the show sounds, it sounds like it's, like, really realistic sort of fantasy, if that makes sense. But everyone has, like, the color-coded hair, which I was like, that kind of stands out to me. Why do they have pink and green hair?
I didn't even really notice that.
No?
No, but
maybe
I
it's
don't
just
always
me.
pick up on these things. Like, I noticed that none of them were particularly dark feature, but that's because I felt like this was more of a, like, Europe
Yeah. They
inspired
had a couple,
setting.
like, there was, like, a brown guy at some point.
Yeah, well, exactly. But to me, it didn't
But,
seem
like-
like, okay, this clearly takes in another world, Japan. It was like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is some kind of, like,
European
Europa
type deal.
style.
A European
Yeah.
chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Really hung up on that.
It's so great. Like, when they have the one guy standing in front of the map and he's, like, talking all serious, and I'm just, like, laughing because it's just, like, a freaking chicken in the background, and I'm like, this is kind of awesome.
But it's, like, a massive chicken, because, like, he had to take a plane in the agricultural area to get to a different place within the same district.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it's a giant chicken.
Oh my god, it is a giant chicken.
It is.
I'm telling
It's
you.
great.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
And it's like,
Because why not?
their eyes did look kind of, like, different to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. What did you think of the intro?
I really liked it.
Me too. I mean, it has
I
this,
thought it
like,
was really cool.
like, jazzy rap pop song kind of thing going on.
I feel like this show just kind of makes me, like, sorry, reminisce about other shows I've watched, and I kind of like I feel like it's pulling from so many different styles
I think
like
yeah,
he got like
I
a bit
agree.
of like Cowboy Bebop and like a bit
a
of
little bit.
I want to say Kill la Kill. I don't even really know why, but
I
just
thought
a little bit.
Death Note a couple times.
And that too, like, I don't know, there's just so many little things I was kind of picking up on.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes kind of look like Kisniver, just a thought.
Yeah, maybe Kisniver is a better comparison than Kill la Kill, but that kind of like fun, open animation, like, I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm so bad because I don't really actually remember a whole ton of the specifics of what happened in the first episode, but I know that the main detective guy, like Jean, is supposed to be like kind of like a intellectual badass, basically.
And I think that's where I was getting Death Note from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he's not chauvinistic about it. He's like a nice
it kind
guy.
of reminded me like L, but if he took his job way more seriously.
Yeah. I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he smokes a lot.
He does.
That's a thing.
And they make it very apparent that smoking is a luxury in their world.
Yes.
It's for rich people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he has like a nickname that has to do with smoking.
Oh my gosh.
He's like the tobacco peddler or something like that.
Did you enjoy the how there's the ACCA or whatever, which are more like almost like the detectives, and then they had the actual cops, but their logos were like bitten out donuts.
I didn't even notice that.
You didn't notice that? The like
and then
logos
they were eating
on their
donuts.
arms. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was so funny.
I didn't notice that. Mm-hmm. I had to go back. Yeah. But yeah, the whole show kind of had like a very it's a very slow paced thing where I think it's going to be more of a slow burn.
Yeah.
And but it had a really like kind of cool atmosphere where like the main character's just sort of like sauntering around and being all like, I'm smart, whatever.
Yeah, for me it's like it was technically slow and not necessarily like overly exciting, but you were like, I was still intrigued throughout it anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I'll probably watch another episode or two, see how it goes.
Just see where it goes. I'm curious too.
It doesn't say how many episodes there's going to be on Mal, so I don't know.
I'd guess about 12.
Me too, but then again, you never know. Sometimes they're like 24 and you're like,
right off the bat.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for me, music is always a really big thing with anime. I don't know. I love anime music. So
me too.
This one had I thought the music reflected the tone of the show like really, really well because it's like this like jazz noir kind of soundtrack, and it fits well with the tone they're going for, where he's just kind of like slow to start and like he's just sort of being all this like cool cop dude doing stuff in the chicken and, chicken. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's an intriguing show, but I have I can't have an opinion on it right now because I have no idea where it's going.
It's true. It's like intriguing enough for now, but you can't say if it's gonna be good or bad because it's like, what the. It's okay. This sounds weird. It's like you know what the plot is, but you don't know what the storyline is.
Yeah.
Like
I can't even. Yeah, it's like it's a weird sort of way. It's hard to talk about.
Because basically, by the end of the episode, he basically finds out that. So at the beginning of the episode, you find out that his department is going to be no more. Like they're going to be shut down. They're not needed anymore because the ACCA has been running so smoothly. They don't really need these internal affair guys anymore.
I smell political intrigue.
Exactly. And then halfway through the episode, you find out that that's a lie, and they aren't going to be disbanded, but he only has 6 months to audit all 13
districts,
basically. Okay. And there's more than one department, let's say, in a district. Yeah. But basically, they insinuate that's not really possible. He's kind of I don't know how I'm gonna do that, and that's completely unrealistic thing to ask. Therefore, he's kind of
fucked over.
Fucked over, and also kind of seeing that there's some unrest here, and that someone's obviously trying to fuck him over a little bit and stuff. And anyway, so you can tell that's kind of where it's gonna go, which is interesting. It could be, but I could also see the show end up being really boring. I could also see someone commented on Mal, and I could agree with this. They're this might end up being one of those shows where no one really likes it at first, but then 10 years from now, it'll be this weird cult classic that everyone loves.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It's just, it has that feel to it.
it kind of, just looking at like the pictures and listening to you guys talk, it sounds like maybe it is one of those slow burns where it's like,
oh, definitely,
you gotta give it a bit of time to like build itself up.
Well, that was kind of like Cowboy Bebop. I didn't really appreciate Cowboy Bebop until I finished it.
Yeah.
Like, I almost had a hard time getting through it a little bit sometimes, but then it was over, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was so good. Like,
I completely
That's probably
agree.
Kind of the tone it's gonna end up with, or the same kind of flow.
I'm all right with that. Sometimes it's fun to be surprised, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it at all, so...
Yeah.
Slow burn.
Alrighty, we're gonna move on to the...
So you just have one left, then?
Yes,
I think
sir.
so.
The one that I
I think it's time.
Oh, no.
Liam, do you want to tell us what we
Yeah,
watched?
go Liam.
Yes, so I think I've mentioned this on one other episode. I don't know if it'll be out by this time, but
no, it
probably
won't.
I think this is like on a lot of the fellow weebs' lists for winter animes is the TV show of Little Witch Academia. Woo! It's
Nailed
finally here. The trigger show we always wanted.
Hooray!
And now we have.
A little bit of background. So in 2013, through the Japan Young Animators Project, Studio Trigger released an OVA called Little Witch Academia. So it's just like a 30-minute short of just like a story about a young girl that wants to become a witch. So she goes to witch school, and it was basically like Harry Potter anime, but like just girls. And I mean, it's not exactly like Harry Potter, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
I watched
teenagers at magic school.
There are elements that are like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I watched that, and then 2 years later, because like the first one was such a big hit. Also, other fun fact, Death Parade was also done through the Japan Young Animators Expo, or Death Billiards was, and that got made into a show.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that was Madhouse's Young Animator project, and Little Witch was Trigger's. So in 2015, like, because everyone loved Little Witch Academia, Studio Trigger actually made it was either a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo to make a sequel to it, and that was like hugely successful. So they made another OVA, which was I think about an hour long, because they like met a lot of their stretch goals.
Yeah,
and that was cool because like that does not a lot of anime studios do that, and it seems like that's a cool thing to consider in the future for anime studios, maybe. Just because, you know, us North Americans, it's not super easy for us to buy Blu-rays and DVDs and merchandise and contribute to them, because like that's where they make a lot of their profits. But if there are more crowdfunding options available,
it's a lot easier for us to buy in.
Well, and even if a studio had like a Patreon page, it's like, I can't afford to buy your like hundreds of dollars of Blu-rays, but like I'll give you $5 a month. Kind of if I know like that $5 is going straight to the studio and not to like the distribution company and all that.
Yeah.
Anyways, tangent. So yeah, then the sequel was Little Witch Academia: The Magical Parade, I think, and that was also really awesome. And yeah, then I guess in the fall they announced that Little Witch Academia was getting an actual like show in winter 2017. So me being a big whore for Trigger, I was like, yes, I want, because I was just going off.
Give it to me.
Well, I'd probably that was probably around the time I recently finished Gurren Lagann, so I was like, yeah, Trigger. I was probably close, and I'd probably finished Space Patrol.
Time.
No, I finished Kill la Kill last year. I probably just finished Space Patrol Luluco, which is pretty entertaining, and like there's a lot of inside jokes with like other Trigger animes in that. And at the same time, like the most recent Trigger anime was Kisniver, which we all know what our thoughts on that are.
Yep.
Soon to be released in like 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, probably.
Well, yeah, and we had our other episode. I've probably talked about it a few times.
We're releasing this one for the
Anyways,
Liam.
So This
Spoilers.
is no, I mean like the actual Kisniver episode we did.
It's out. Yeah.
Where was I going? Yeah, so I was super hyped for Little Witch Academia. I watched it right away when it started, and it was awesome. And I'm still watching it every Sunday night, and it just puts the happiness back into my life, man.
That's so
This is the first time I've really like watched an anime week to week. I didn't really do that last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing that this season with 2 shows. But definitely like more excited for Little Witch than I am for Konosuba.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch the original OVAs to watch the show because they just reset the story back from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But watching the original OVAs is still like good. It won't like really spoil much. It'll just enhance your experience, I guess. Yeah, and one last piece of good news is it's gonna go for a full 24 episodes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Nice.
So those are my thoughts. I know it's kind of long-winded.
No.
Oh, fair enough.
Who
Go
else
for it.
watched it, and how much did you watch?
I did. I watched all 3 episodes at once, and the whole time, like, I got to the second episode, and I was like, shit, there's only 3 episodes.
Right?
I want to binge all of this right now.
Fair enough.
Because I got really into it after the first episode. I've only seen the first OVA for this show, like, I haven't seen the second one. So, like,
Second
I kind
one's
of
really
knew what
fun.
to expect. Yeah, I should go and watch that. It's on Netflix. But I kind of knew what to expect, but I was like, I didn't know how close it was gonna be to the first one or whatever.
It's nice to like have them go at a slower pace and like just have more character
More
development,
time,
but they still like have good action.
Yeah,
and
it's
magic
really
and
nice.
stuff.
Honestly, I think this show is just so like happy.
Yeah,
in
it
a
is
way,
very
like,
happy.
the main character is just so like chipper and poppy, and I was like, I'm into this. You're not like super obnoxious, which is great. It's just, like, it actually feels like really genuine, and like her interactions with the other 2 characters, like that her roommates are they're just really nice all together. I don't know. I especially like the one girl who's like super into like the potions and venoms and shit.
Yeah, Lucy or Lucy.
Or sushi or something.
Sushi.
Not sushi.
Yeah, her voice is really entertaining too. She's got like that really nasal kind of like old
like,
Asian woman voice, like
yeah. Exactly. And like it's really weird, but it reminded me, instead of reminding me of Harry Potter, it reminded me of this one like animated Sabrina the Teenage Witch movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember the TV show like that.
Yeah, and it's actually called I went and looked up the movie because I was like, I know this is a thing that existed. There was a magic tree and stars on hands.
Are
and
you
it's
talking
called...
about like the live action Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
No, there's a
the
cartoon one
animated
afterwards.
Okay, yeah, I remember
that. The movie was called Sabrina Friends Forever.
Oh my gosh.
It's so happy. I was like, I remember this. This was a thing. But it reminded me a lot of that, and I don't know, this just brought all the like childhood nostalgia back to me while I was watching it. And then on top of that, the soundtrack was actually like really like kind
Disney-ish?
of Disney movie-esque.
Yeah.
And I was like, all of my nostalgia is being poured into this TV show right now. Oh my god, you know, kind of thing. So it just like it hit me. So now I'm obsessed.
Got hit with those feels.
Yeah, I did. Like real bad.
Nice.
And it's just like a really like the animation is trigger, so it's really fluid and fun to watch. Like all the colors everywhere are really fun to look at. It's just like just a good show. Like it's so fun, happy.
Can I cut in?
Yes, sorry.
Becca's turn, I guess.
I watched Little Witch Academia 2, guys.
Hey, I just wanted to finish what I was saying.
No, I just felt like there was a bunch of stuff that I wanted to agree with, but I was like, nobody knows I've watched it.
It's okay.
I knew.
Not
I
like
only
we
watched
have
the
a
first
time
episode. Yeah, well, kind of. It's getting to be my bedtime. But
Me too.
yeah. I just watched the first episode, and a lot of what Veda said I agree with, and I just want to jump in and mention that. And now Veda can keep talking.
No, you go. That's pretty much all I wanted to say.
I had there was a point they do like it is a very trigger show, but it is like different enough from the other trigger shows. Like it does have a lot of nice colors, but it is like a bit calmer than like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill.
It feels like a different style to me. I haven't watched Gurren Lagann, but this one feels more cartoony to me than Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill feels kind of grungy, and this one feels kind of cartoony-ish, and like
it's very family friendly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Well, and that was like I watched the initial, I believe the first Little Witch Academia on Netflix, which like right after I say a lot of the shit on Netflix I don't want to watch.
The one where they're like in the
dungeon.
Yeah, the dungeon.
Yeah, and I kind of got the feel. Granted, I was watching it like half not there, but I got the feel that it was kind of for a younger audience in general, which is why I didn't really pursue it much further. So I just kind of that was the feel I got. But watching the first episode of this, it wasn't like a bad feeling. It just felt like you could sit down and watch it with somebody of a younger age.
To watch it with your whole family.
Yeah, and like the music too, like you said, it sounded at one point I was like, this sounds like classic Disney.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that. That was kind of neat.
That really got me. Disney is like my childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just hit me.
Well, it's just you don't really hear that kind of quality of like orchestral music anymore.
Especially in anime.
Yeah,
that makes me want to hear it.
So
you should go watch it, Leah.
Yeah, that's really just in the first episode.
How'd you feel about the OP? I guess in the first episode it happens over the credits.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I didn't watch it all the way through, like through the end credits, because I literally was like finishing Little Witch Academia about 30 seconds before we started recording.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I was just finishing it right before we started, so
you were like, I gotta finish.
That was one thing. Well, and I was like, this is probably really good, but I'm gonna skip it this time. And then I scurried to go record the podcast. So the couple, I really liked the little bit of music that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that, and the little bit of animation I watched quickly, I really enjoyed. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any more to say about it than that.
It's more than I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You should go watch it, Leah.
Yeah, are you going to check it out, Leah?
Yeah, I'll check out an episode.
This can be, imagine if there's an anime we're watching week to week all at the same time.
It has been discussed.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, for a different one, but...
Yeah, that's not until later.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Yeah. Talk about it later.
It's a surprise, Leah.
Why not Little Witch Academia? That's all I want to know.
We can talk about this later.
I'm so lost right now.
Don't worry about it. Overall, guys, in a couple words, so we can wrap it up here. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about 2017? Winter.
I wish I had watched Super Lovers too.
I definitely have my two shows that I'm enjoying a lot, and that's enough for me to keep me pretty satisfied, especially with like a good trigger show. So
fair enough.
The only thing I was really super into was Little Witch Academia. Yeah, and then I got bored and went and started watching Evangelion again.
Oh my god.
I was in the mood.
The new
like,
one or the old one?
No, like I watched the third
original
movie and then I was like, I want to go back and watch them all over again. So then I got like 8 episodes in and I was like,
wow.
Yeah, this is cool.
Maybe it's just a rewatching mood. I've been redoing Lord of the Rings, but that's besides the point.
Oh, I just did that the other weekend at a marathon. It was glorious.
Extended marathon?
No, it was Adam's first time seeing them, so I didn't want to do that.
You went easy on
wow,
it.
That's
right.
That's surprising.
Right? That's what I said. Anyways.
But so I was like, instead of watching the animes for this week, I just went and watched a bunch of Evangelion. That's how I feel about this season.
I feel like that's enough said right there.
Get in the robot, Shinji.
Get in the robot, Shinji. No, do that and run away.
All right.
Anyway, all right, guys.
You can join our room on My Anime List. We're also on Facebook. We've got a few videos on YouTube. Please review us on Podbeam, preferably a good review. We're on iTunes.
Yeah.
We're on the internet in general. So thanks for listening.
Arigato.
Let us know how you feel about any 2017 anime thus far.
Or if you think our opinions suck.
Yeah.
Or if you think they're great.
anything at all.
Anything.
Yeah.
Any
Something?
opinions at all?
All right,
those
listeners.
Just a tip.
Have a good night or
Oyasumi
morning
nasai.
or day or whatever. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
Okay, I stopped.
I'm not
Okay.
done yet. Veda, do the gurgly noise.
Just gonna say that.
Oh god, okay, like the wow, 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 that one?
Yeah,
that one.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.